Everybody's on page 4, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I need you guys to make a promise for me, and take this promise seriously, because I'm only speaking from my experience when I talk to you about this. As we get into lessons 4 and 5, each, which are 2 days each, the examples and the exercises get progressively harder. Okay, now it's pretty much the same thing. What we're going to be doing is taking what these are called rational numbers, because they have decimals, and we're going to be putting them in order from either least to greatest or greatest to least, depending on what they say. From my experience, and here's where I need you to make a promise, I need you to do this the way that I show you to do it. Because if you do it your way, or start guessing and looking at the numbers and trying to figure out which is the smallest to greatest, without doing it the way that I show you to do it, I guarantee you're going to trip up. So I'm even going to start you off relatively easy. When you start getting into the middle of day 2 of lesson 4, and the first part of lesson 5, it gets progressively harder. So if you try to do it your way and you trip up, I don't even give partial credit. It's either all right or it's all wrong. Okay? So the way that I show you to do it, you just have to trust my judgment, because I've been doing this a long time, and I've seen it happen all too often when we have our first quiz, where you have to order these numbers from least to greatest. It's amazing how many kids, even my advanced math students, that get it wrong because they want to do it their way. All right, so pinky swear. Hold up your pinkies. Say, Mr. Alessi, I swear, because it's going. Look, I got the microphone, because you're swearing to the online world that you will do.
That I will do.
Ordering and comparing.
Ordering and comparing.
The way.
The way.
That Mr. Alessi.
That Mr. Alessi.
Shows us to do it.
Shows us to do it.
Pinky swear.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. So, example 2, we now have six cities, and these are actual numbers, by the way. I actually looked this up on Wikipedia, and these are 6 cities and their elevations across the U.S. What you're going to do is you're going to use a place value chart to put them in the proper columns. Now, right now, they're in random order. So all we're going to do is take these numbers and put them where they belong in the place value charts. I'm going to scroll down. And Brian Head, Utah is 1.85. So I have a column for my ones. This little half column here is for my decimal. And put in your 1.85. Mammoth Lakes is 1.5. Then we've got Alma, which is 1.912. Alpine, 1.52. And again, these are just random order in the way that they appear in the chart. Nothing's been ordered yet. Fox Park is 1.71. And Taos, that's how you pronounce it. Any of you ski? Who skis?
I ski.
Have you ever been to Taos? Okay, 1.765. Okay, the next thing that you're going to do, wherever you don't see a number in a particular place value column, you're going to fill it up with what?
Zero.
They're called annex zeros. I like to say fill up the nests, the empty nests, with eggs. Now look, I'm not going to put anything in my 10,000s column, because there's no numbers that they give us that stretch out that far. So I don't have to worry about this column, but I do need to put placeholders or zeros, annex zeros for thousands and hundredths. Okay, the next thing I'm going to do, and it's an important step, I want to look back at the original problem and find out, are they asking us to order this from highest to lowest or lowest to highest? I'm going to underline that, and I want you to do the same. And then watch what I'm going to do. In my chart up top, H for high to L for lowest. That's just a reminder, because sometimes they'll ask you least to greatest or greatest to least. Sometimes they'll ask you low to high, high to low, and I'll tell you if you have it in reverse order, I don't give you partial credit. It's either all right or it's all wrong. So you have to go back and revisit the question because they're going to switch it up on you all the time. Okay. Who knows? Raise your hand. When you compare any number, whether it's rational numbers or integers, do you start on the far left to compare or the far right? Smiley. I may agree, far left. She would be right. So we take a look at the far left and look at this. They're all the same. We can't tell by the ones which is the highest and which is the lowest. So what do you got to do next? Bella, go to the next column. And luckily we have random numbers now. We have some different numbers. 8, 5, 9, 5, 7, 7. Just in that column, what's the highest number? Jack. Alma, right? Watch what we do. I now know, no matter what, Alma is my highest city. I'm going to put a number 1 here, and watch what I do. Now I don't want to consider Alma at all because I've got it placed as number 1. Put one line through that digit or through that rational number so we know we don't need to look at it anymore. Out of the remaining numbers, 8, 5, 5, 7, 7, what's my next highest? Charlie. Which is what city? I now know that's my second highest. Put a 2 here, cross it out. Still looking at my tenths. Now I have a dilemma. I got 2 5s, a 5 and a 5, and a 7 and a 7. Well, let me ask you this. What 2 cities cannot be 3 and 4? So you should be able to tell just from those numbers, which 2 cities can I kind of cross out in my mind as not being ranking 3 and 4? Emma. Right, because they start, obviously 7s are higher than 5s. So my 3 and 4 are going to be between Fox Park and Taos. Now I'm not going to cross out Alpine and Mammoth Lakes yet. But in my mind, I'm going to put it off in the back of my mind because I'm going to need them later. I got Fox Park and Taos. They have to be 3 and 4, but I don't know who's 3 and who's 4. So what do I have to do? Bridge.
Well, you have to go to the place.
Yeah, I got to go to my next column. And again, I'm not looking at Mammoth or Alpine, but between Fox and Taos, Bridget, what's higher, 6 or 1?
6.
That now gets my number 3 in my ranking. And I'm going to cross it out. And since I limited 3 and 4 to those 2 numbers, what has to be 4? Max. Absolutely. Cross it out. Now we're down to the last 2, 5 and 6. Well, I got a 5 and a 5. So I've got to go and look at my next column. And out of 0 and 2, what's higher? Alex. That's automatically going to become my 5th highest. And that leaves Mammoth Lakes as my lowest or least highest. Okay? Takes a little bit longer to do it this way, but isn't it more important to get it right when you take a quiz?
Yes.
That's most important is you get it right. So it's and let me tell you, this is still easy compared to what you're going to be doing tomorrow because tomorrow not only do we double the number of rational numbers you have to order, but you're going to also deal with negative rational numbers tomorrow too. Okay? No, you're going to have a quiz on Friday though. All right? So do it this way. Remember, you picky swore that you're going to do it this way. So all I care about is that you get it right, and I guarantee if you do it the way I show it to you, you will get it right. Yeah.
I did it the same way, but because yesterday I went ahead and I crossed out on the chart of all of them.
So you kind of did do it, though, the way that I showed you to do it. You're still looking at place value. This just makes it easier for you to see it visually. Okay? What I don't want you to do is just try to guess by the way the number looks, which is highest and which is lowest. Okay, we're still not done though yet. What often they'll do is once you have it ranked here, you still have to put them in some kind of order, line by line order. So if you flip the page, I know it's kind of a pain because you got to go back and forth, but you now actually have to take the cities that you've ranked and put them in the order from highest to lowest. So go back again to the chart. What was your number one? Because once you got your numbers, really what winds up being, guys, look, here's 1, 2. You're just going to match up the numbers with the city. Bridge, what do you got for 1?
Alma,
Get
1.9.
And don't even worry about the numbers. We're just going to do the city. T. King, what was 2?
9.
If you abbreviate BH, I'm cool with that because I know you know it. Number 3. Mikey. I'm going to spell it out. It's only 4 letters. Number 4. Number 5. Z. And number 6. Tom. And that one I'll abbreviate because it's a little long. And that's how it gets done. All right? So that's the deal. Do it the way that I show you to do it. All right? Don't trip up. So what you guys are going to do, I know some of you have gone ahead. At the very least, regular math, pages 5 and 6. Listen, don't start yet. Pages 5 and 6 for regular math and advanced if you haven't gotten that far. Then do the problem set, which is tonight's homework, which is 12 and 13. Okay? I don't want regular math going ahead just yet. So after you're done with this and problem set, you're done for today. Advanced, I'll let you go ahead to day 2 with negative rational numbers, providing that you do it the way that I showed you with place value chart. One more thing I want to show you before I let you guys work. For those of you that don't want to flip back and forth between a place value chart and the numbers, I have separate place value charts up here so it's in front of you at all times. You don't have to keep flipping back and forth. It's easier. All right, so I'm going to keep these up here as a resource for you. It's also in the last page of your booklet. But again, you'd have to separate it. Okay? I say use this first, because I got them, and leave this one, the one that's attached to your booklet, for home, for your problem set. Okay, so you have it. All right? Okay, you guys can group up and go. 5 and 6 regular and advanced, and then go on to problem set.